are live, episode 82. I am your co-host Pisky, and I am joined as always by the one and only Godfather. You look like the Godfather tonight, that's for sure. What is the special occasion? Right out of the gate here. Let's go. Beautiful background too, by the way.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Someone gave you shit during our live event last week
well,
about your background.
I'm a very sensitive guy, and yeah, no more ugly 1995 paint. What can I fucking tell you?
Oh, jeez.
And as far as work, the
Tito.
occasion, none of your business. I got people to meet.
All right. Mysterious start to episode 82. 82B, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're not going to count the episode, don't make me put in I punched the clock.
So if anyone's brutally confused right now, allow me to explain. We tried to do a live event last week, and we succeeded. It was good. A lot of people had fun with it.
Underline tried.
I had no idea how this thing was going to go. And by the time it was all said and done, like there was a ton of editing that needed to be done. It was like plastered on my Twitter account. It didn't work on Instagram. Facebook was good. We had some good interaction there. And it was just too messy. So I think the moral of that, the story and the learning lesson there is that live events will be live events. They actually go into a different section of my YouTube channel here. And the podcast will be the podcast. Now, I know there's other people. The reason why I wanted to do this, there is other people out there that do the podcast live. When we went on the Props and Hops podcast with Matt Landis, that was live. When I went on the Contest Queen podcast, you remember that one? That was live as well. So I thought that we could do the live, but two mistakes is that, well, I don't have a clue what I'm doing. So, there was a lot of, how do we get this? How do we get this? Is it working? Which is garbage. No one wants to stick around for that. And number two, we had the Steelers on and you weren't paying attention.
I warned you that I wasn't going to pay attention. So I don't, I think I did a very good job of trying to split my focus. And I actually liked some of the interaction.
Interaction was fun.
The interaction is good because, I'm not convinced, people want to listen to you. And
what do you mean to me?
I'm not convinced. Not convinced.
Not convinced. Well, I hope everyone enjoys the new camera here. Pisky's not in the dark. I'm not in an orange tunnel anymore, right?
Yeah,
that's nice.
Good volume and good audio.
Good audio. I got my Yeti Blue. I got the mini mic. It's there's a word for it. The nano. Because the other one, the one that you have, is too clunky. Like I'm traveling around. I'm at WeWork, and this thing it's extra weight.
It works for me.
No, it definitely works. I'm just saying it's a little clunky. Because one of my friends out in BC, shout out to Leela, she's like, well, why did you return it? Because initially I bought the same one you have in front of you, Godfather, and I bought a blue one. But too clunky. And I got enough shit in my backpack that
you young people just find nothing but fucking excuses for everything. Let's go.
Let's go. We have a busy agenda today, folks. I feel like we're behind. I feel like I'm rusty. I feel like I'm not putting out enough video content because that extended break, it totally derailed me.
Yeah.
One thing about this content creation shit, if you slow down, there's you get rusty. It's not a natural flow anymore. So this episode might be a little clunky. What's on the espresso cup there? First of all, pinky's up, Jesu Cristo. Okay, and what is that? A little red pepper there.
It's the international Italian symbol for what are you talking about?
What are you talking? Tell me cutlets.
I got an entire new espresso set for Christmas.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. Christmas was good. We didn't get to talk about this. Christmas, New Year's was good.
Everything was great. Has the carne, has the you shit out of luck, That's the okay. It's a nice set.
Okay. All right. Well, continuously bring it on here so everyone can see. You can share it with us.
Yeah.
I gotta also mention, Godfather, that this is live video on Spotify. I didn't know that was a thing because I've been uploading it to Spotify
Really?
individually. You upload it to YouTube and then you upload it to Spotify. So hello
somebody,
everyone on Spotify. I was under the assumption that everyone on Spotify was just listening. No. If you open the Spotify app, you can watch us on Spotify. I had no idea. And it's kind of like my Instagram account right now, where a lot of people have started commenting from Facebook. I had no idea that I was posting on Facebook. So I'm learning as we go here. I don't know anything.
Well, there you go. What do you, I mean?
What are you going to do?
Is what it is.
You sound a little shy today, Goff. Are you shy? A little shy to speak
I'm
or
not
what?
Shy.
Tired?
A fucking storm is coming, and you pay maintenance fees or something. You don't own a shovel. I have 6 of them for one fucking person, and I got a big driveway, and I'm not feeling it.
Speaking of that storm, nobody was here in Scotia Plaza today. The place was empty, ghost town. And I saw our buddy, shout out to Scotty, the security guard. He asked how everything was going. He asked how you were doing. And he's like, nobody's here because of the storm. I don't follow these things. I didn't even know a storm was on its way. So it's okay. Okay, let's get this party started here because I feel like I'm putting you to sleep and I'm probably putting all our viewers on Spotify and YouTube, both, and everywhere else that you watch these videos. The live event, Godfather, would you do it again?
No, no. Well, not during the Steeler game.
So not this Sunday against the Bills?
Not even, don't call me. Don't try to contact me. Nothing. So no, I would not.
Out of the question.
Out of the question. Out of the question. I thought I was taking one for the team. I thought I was being a good partner and playing along with your stupid ideas. I told you it was no good. And then you come and say, oh, I didn't pay attention. Well, hello. It's only the Steelers, and and what do we get out of that win? We get to go to fucking Buffalo. Well,
Buffalo in absolute terrible weather.
Well, that's what they're saying. They're calling for some very bad weather.
Yeah. So is this legit? Is there going to be 3 feet of snow? Are there going to be 65-mile-an-hour winds? Because that's what I'm hearing.
You know what? There was this time in, I believe it was a 2021 game, where I didn't believe the weather forecast for a game in Buffalo, or I didn't pay attention to it. And then I think you know what I'm talking about. It was worse than the report. So I'm not sure, but...
Are we talking about the win game?
I'm trying not to fucking bring that game up, yes.
Well, I'm going to bring it up because people watch this podcast to get betting tips every now and then, and so we're going to have to go back to 2021.
Who are these people? Who are these people? What are you saying?
But honestly, terrible weather reported for Kansas City, terrible weather reported for Buffalo. Are they going to move that Buffalo game? I texted our friend Numi, the season ticket holder, Buffalo Bills. Shout out to Numi. He's been on this podcast a couple times. Are they going to move it, yes or no?
Well, I heard that it's not remotely accurate that it's going to get moved. You think Buffalo is going to fucking move their home game to Cleveland, 60 kilometers from Pittsburgh? Are you fucking kidding me now? Don't get me riled up. I don't want to talk about this game.
Okay, well, to start this episode, we are going to go through all the playoff games. I think that'll be a fun little exercise. I got my spank odds open here. Hold on. Where is it? Boom. Spank odds. Okay, the official odds provider of the Always Betting podcast.
Very good.
Spank odds honestly helps me a ton with live betting and the middling that I do. Take my money. It's not cheap, the pro version, but we've mentioned it on many different podcasts. But it is very helpful when you get to a certain level. You got to be betting dimes though to buy the full.
You might have paid for that membership by now.
I mean, yeah, you see the middles tab. That's all spank odds because I look at spank odds, and then when I see a big enough gap, usually commercial break, that's when you try to do it. Boom, boom, right? And, majority of them lose, so prepared for that. And I think, you know what? People ask me about the middling all the time. They're like, how do you do this? Wait, my buddy, shout out to Chris in Pittsburgh. We were comparing notes the other night. He likes to arbitrage my middling opportunity. So I like to go for my 3 points on a total. He likes to take the alternate lines and guarantee himself money in his pocket. Different way of doing it. And I said, and he's like, well, Pisk, which way is better? Which way makes more money? And I'm like, I genuinely have no idea. I just know my shit works and I like doing it. So I continue. But even I could be wrong, because a lot of people, especially the math guys out there, say that you should not be playing the weak side. So usually Pinnacle or Chris, right? You should always just be betting the predatory sports books. But I don't know. I like doing it. It works for me, but you got to be super disciplined to do it. Okay. Game number 1, Godfather. Let's go through these quickly. What do we got? Cleveland at Houston. Barn burner. Beautiful. Joe Flacco. Is the Cinderella slippers going to come off? Yes or no?
I think Cleveland's defense is going to prevail there. Not so much Flacco, but
I like Houston.
You like it? Well, there you go. You're Mr. Dog, and this is what this exercise is going to be. Okay.
So you think Cleveland? The line?
I would go.
Okay, folks. I'm gonna be straight here. I'm gonna be a straight shooter. We're not handicappers, so don't take any of this like to the bank and say, "Hey, Pisky likes this." God, I don't know what I fucking like. If I see a gap in the middle of the game, I'm going to make a middle for myself, but I'm not betting the game straight up. We're not doing it. We're just having some fun with this. And I'm curious to see how the Godfather thinks about these playoff games. So right off the gate, we're on opposite sides. Right out of the gate, we're on opposite sides of the fence. Like always. I like Houston. Always. You like Cleveland. Okay. Game number 2, Miami at Kansas City. Can the Miami Dolphins play in the cold? That's the big narrative right now.
I'm going to say no. And I got
to say no, there. But I just read a tweet before hitting the live button here, Godfather.
I read a
tweet. They said this person, I don't know who it was a quick glance. They said Skylar Thompson was the quarterback last year when Miami was like double-digit underdogs against the Buffalo Bills, and they covered and they almost beat them. So what do you have to say about that?
What does that event have to do with tomorrow's game? Come on, man.
I don't trust the Dolphins. I don't like Tua. But again, this is coming from a guy that watches Red Zone. That's it. So don't take it to the bank. You like Chiefs in that one or Miami Dolphins? Dude, I got that confidence pool that I was in. I got another confidence pool for the playoffs. So I actually need some advice here. Come on.
Well, I don't know. Home teams in the playoffs, right? What's the line?
The line is up to 4.5. Kansas City.
Okay, so I don't know. I mean, if you think
forget the line, who's going to win the fucking game? Oh,
so there's two. That's two fucking different questions now, isn't it?
We're in trouble.
Who's going to win the game? KC's going to win the game.
KC's going to win a game. That's all I want to know. So you said Cleveland, now KC. Okay.
Yes.
Good. I think so too. So we see eye to eye there. Next game. Who's playing Buffalo? Who's playing Buffalo? Oh, Pittsburgh. Okay.
Don't fucking play stupid. Buffalo. Let's go.
I feel like this is too much promo. Hold on. Let's get rid of that. Okay. You think okay? Do your Steelers stand a chance? This is the game that I really want your opinion on.
Well,
no chance.
I'm not going to say no chance. Like 10 things have to go their way, and 10 things have to go against Buffalo. Now 65-mile-an-hour winds, 6 feet of snow. Maybe a little bit of an evening up process. I don't know. Per se, but Buffalo should win that game. If Buffalo loses to Mason Rudolph, then I don't want to fucking hear about fucking Josh Allen again. I don't want to hear about this guy. Okay? Can we agree on that? Okay? There's too much fellatio going on about this guy. Okay?
There is.
If he can't beat Pittsburgh, I don't want to hear about him anymore. That's the only thing I got to say. Buffalo will win the game. Buffalo's the better team. Blah, 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 blah. But these guys are starting to remind me of Leaf fans right about now.
Really?
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, because a lot of this with no success. Right? That's what the Leafs fans do.
It's just the guy's a good quarterback. The guy's maybe even a great quarterback. Makes mistakes like fuck.
Yeah. Well,
all game long. Buffalo has played like shit in more games than they've actually played well. Yes or no?
Yes, I agree.
Okay. All right. So does Pittsburgh have a chance? Maybe a chance? Maybe. I don't know. But Buffalo should win. Buffalo's the largest favorite on the board, yes or no?
Yes, they are.
There you go. So
it's dropped a bit now. They came off to 10. So that's
because of the weather, and come on, we're not bookmakers. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. But we've been around, okay? And you and I, maybe more a little bit me, but we're responsible for a lot of the welfare of the people of Ontario for decades. Yes.
Some say I destroyed that welfare. I don't know.
I think a little bit, but that was my fault. But so I mean, absolutely, Buffalo should win. Buffalo's my pick, actually. Will I be going for Pittsburgh? Of course. Pittsburgh could be playing my mother.
Where are you going to watch the game?
Same fucking place I watch all my games, by myself.
At home? Can I come over?
No.
Come on.
No, I don't watch Steeler games with nobody, bro. Not even my brother. Crazy? Not even my brother, and he's a Steeler fan.
And you won't even watch it with him?
No. I don't need him.
Does the Familia leave the compound?
Nobody watches the Steelers with me.
Are they in the house during the playoff game? Are they in the house?
No, they will not be in the house.
You're crazy.
I get lucky. Two of them are working, but the other two won't. No.
No chance? They know.
No chance. They know. And I don't want to hear anybody say, stop your swearing. What? How can you say that? But no, I don't want to. Like I say.
What about the Perrys?
They're Bills fans. I can't.
No way? Not doing that? No. What about coming with me to local down the street?
Dude,
in public, Godfather Steeler game.
Let me call my lawyer and make sure that he's available. I can't do that. I can't do that kind of stuff.
This isn't even. We're not even playing this up. This is real. This is real. He's a maniac.
I stay home. The only times I watched Steeler games was when I was working at the OLG, and I had no choice because family responsibility comes above all. So I was at work, right?
Yep.
Would people call me for anything when the Steelers were on?
No.
Would we do odds while the Steelers were on? No.
I mean, we should have. We were analyzing, monitoring.
We were monitoring, correct.
Monitoring.
Yes.
Godfather and his rock. I don't think we told him about the rock. We
said it on the live event. About
on the live event. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He used to have this rock. His daughter painted a rock for him. He would have it on his desk.
That's right.
And when things didn't go well,
Day gift.
Whether it be in fantasy or Steelers, he would take this rock, size of my hand, huge, and he would launch it against the filing cabinet that we had. When we left the OLG in 2021, the poor filing cabinet, like shout out to all the filing cabinets out there. This one was abused. This one was broken. And this guy is responsible.
Totally functional. Don't mislead the people. Bruised, dented, absolutely. You know what? I'm going to find the rock because I know where it is. And the next podcast, I'm bringing it on.
Good. Yes, everyone, you got to see the rock. Mm-hmm. So, that AI TikTok account that I've fallen in love with where they recap all the NFL games?
Yeah.
It starts off with, how the fuck did the Pittsburgh Steelers beat the Buffalo Bills? Great account, and obviously I don't have it written down.
They're calling for Pittsburgh to beat Buffalo.
It's called sports underscore commentary on TikTok. You got to check it out. I love it. It's like an AI voice recapping the games, way better than any highlights you'll find anywhere else on the internet. It's fantastic. It's hilarious. No, but they called him Josh Winston. You agree?
Yeah, well,
a little bit.
I don't want to talk about that guy because I don't know why. Like when he first started, I was one of the first. Probably before you even heard it on American TV, making an analogy between him and my favorite quarterback of all time, Ben Roethlisberger. Okay? And so I've been a big fan of his.
I thought your favorite was Brady.
But, you know, like I was trying to say, and now that you brought that motherfucker up, you know,
we're gonna get in so much trouble for this.
I had to live through 21 years of Brady, and him. Nobody could touch him. Embellishment, trying to get. I don't want to. I can't stomach it again. I'm not going to do another 20 years with this guy. You know, so you know.
So you're just not into Josh Allen. You're not a believer.
At the moment, no. And this weekend, obviously not. But
there's a lot of people that are not going to like you.
Well, I don't care. Who the fuck are you kidding me? I'm going to care what people like me? Dude.
Okay.
Next game, let's go. I don't want to talk about Buffalo.
I think that was a great analysis.
On air, my pick is Buffalo. And don't give me the fucking kindergarten shit that you tried to do the other day. Oh, the reverse psychology. Play games. Let's go.
Tricks are for kids or something.
Yes, they certainly are.
Okay. Packers at your second favorite team, the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, the Cowboys are going to win. Cowboys are going to win.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Crushed?
I think they'll cover too.
It's the line's coming down. It was 7.5. It's only 7 now.
Yeah. Fake money.
Yeah. Well,
you know anything about fake money?
Wouldn't it be nice if the Cowboys
lost? Oh no! I mean, are you kidding me? GB all the way, bro.
Thank you. That's what I was looking for. Yeah. So your heart is in GB, but your mind is in Big D.
That's correct. Same like my hometown team.
Okay. So and then next. Okay, this one's a little tricky. Rams at the Lions. Lions like in the playoffs. That's kind of weird to say that, right? Lions and the Browns both in the playoffs. That's weird.
Yeah. This first time ever.
Is it? Yeah, I believe it.
Something like that.
They've both been terrible for as long as I've been alive. Like maybe I don't know. Like before I used to
Cleveland was good way back.
Really?
Like
like 9-7. Yeah. No, I don't know. I don't follow close enough, so I don't even know why we're analyzing this stuff. I just want your picks. Go. Rams at Lions. Who's going to win that? Matthew Stafford. There's a big storyline there. It's huge.
Yeah, it is. It is huge. You know, again, I don't like going by what prognosticators and, you know, guys that do picks all years. I mean, I saw nothing but Rams across the board in this game. I don't know how. I think one of the big evening out factors is the fact that I'm not sure if Laporta's going to play.
Oh, really?
Okay, yeah.
He made us money when we were dressed up like lions.
No, dude. This guy's on the cusp of being the best tight end in the NFL.
Really?
No.
You're going to say that after 1 year? Come on. What about Kelsey? What about the guy in KC? No,
Kelsey. The worst thing that can happen to a football player
falling in love
is a crude word that I'm not going to say because I've sworn enough so I'm going to clean it up for the back end of this podcast, okay? That's the worst thing that can happen to a football player. And Josh Allen, just to go back to him, he's got a new fancy-ass girlfriend too. That's the worst thing that can happen to a football player. I've seen it dozens of times. Either CTE gets you, Antonio Brown, scrambled eggs.
Have you seen his tweets? Do you follow this guy on? Oh,
no, I unfollowed him. I had to
it's
unfollow him
painful.
because
Like I don't even follow him, and I just his tweets come on my feed, and man, oh man, buddy's in. I don't
he's
know
in
what
bad
world he's
shape.
in. He's in
100%.
bad shape. Okay,
He's
let's
in
just
bad
leave it there.
shape.
He's in
Leave it
bad
there.
shape.
Yeah,
So you gonna
I'm going
who's gonna win
Detroit though.
that game?
I'm
I'm
going
going
Detroit.
Detroit too.
I'm going
Okay.
Detroit. I'm going Detroit. And I have a Lions costume, which if they make the Super Bowl, I will wear a second time for you.
Really?
If
Okay.
they make
Where are we
it
gonna
to the
go?
Super
Where are we
Bowl.
gonna go for the Super Bowl?
I don't know. It depends. Depends
What do
who's
you mean
playing.
it depends?
It depends who's playing.
Who's playing? Wait, the only thing that matters in your life is if the Steelers are there. And I don't know. I don't see Mason Rudolph carrying this team to the Super Bowl.
I don't see it. You're not going to offend me by saying that. Don't rile me up, man. God, so.
Well, we got to make a Super Bowl plan. So, start thinking about that, please.
Yes,
Whatever. Okay, and the last game.
Let's get out of this country if we have to do anything for that.
Okay, Costa Rica.
Because this country is.
Yeah. I'll go back to Circa. That was.
I'm not in a good mood today. This is not a good day to do any of this shit. Anyway,
last one: Philly at Tampa Bay. What is wrong with the Eagles? Okay, we're not going to get into analyzing here, but who's going to win that game? Philly's going to win, right?
I'm going to say Philly's going to win.
Okay.
But the caveat there is, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't. They have fallen. They have the locker room has combustion.
How do you know that?
Because I have sources.
Ian Rappaport or whatever the hell said, "Oh, the locker room. This guy's going to get fired."
First of all, I know more about football than Ian Rappaport. First of all, and you know that.
But a lot of people say this, like the room's falling over. They've lost control of the room. But nobody knows that. Nobody knows that. They used to say that about the Blackhawks every time they had a 3-game losing streak.
Is Sirianni Italian?
I went to the source. I'm like, hey, is your locker room in shambles? He's like, no, we're on a losing streak, and people just make shit up to sell stories. That's the way it works. So
Sirianni Italian? Is Sirianni Italian?
I've heard. I don't know.
He's Italian.
Is Italian or Iranian?
So
isn't he Iranian?
He go. So anyway, I have sources.
Okay.
I have sources.
Okay. I call bullshit. I really do. I don't think any of these people know what goes on inside of these locker rooms. I think reporters just make shit up. And
well, that is true. But I don't deal with reporters. Anyway, I have family in Philly.
Are you dealing with a cousin or something? What are you talking about here?
Well, now that you're fucking want to know, you got to tell me everything. Okay.
Stop it.
Philly.
All right.
Philly.
We got through that.
Do you know? Okay, hold on. We're talking about Philly. Okay. Philly was 10-1. Right?
I know where you're going with this.
At one point.
Yes. When they beat Buffalo.
Their over-under for season wins was 11.5.
Oh, stop it. Really?
They won one game in their last 6, and it didn't go over.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you know what, though? The same can be said about the Jacksonville Jaguars. They were one win away from clinching, and didn't they finish the season like 1-5 or something like that?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, 1-5 after they got.
That's why you guys are in the playoffs.
That's correct. Well, and you know why Jacksonville's not in the playoffs? Because they wiped their ass with the terrible towel. Okay, and there's a curse.
Karma.
There's a curse. The football gods. This is why, to me, the football gods are the realest gods, because the football gods, they don't forget, just like me.
Okay.
One time,
who's the last person? Someone else did something to the terrible towel, and I don't know, was it their last game that they ever played or something like that? Well, I don't know. Well, I remember a story like this.
Yeah, well, TJ Houshmandzadeh, remember him from KC? He wiped his shoes, did the little shoe shine.
Was it? You said Kansas City.
Oh, okay. Kansas City. Who was in Kansas City?
No.
But it's not a good thing. It's not something you do. Tennessee disrespected the terrible towel as well a couple of years ago. Where are they now? They can't even keep Vrabel. So anyway,
So just to wrap this all up, we're going to put a bow tie on it. There is 2 weather games this weekend.
yeah.
Kansas City is supposed to be the coldest game in NFL history, people are saying.
Correct. Yes.
And there's supposed to be like God knows what happening in Buffalo.
Yeah.
So we're gonna back it up to 2021. Mm-hmm. The last time there was a crazy ass winter game, because I've gotten a lot of texts lately, DMs saying, "Hey, do you see the weather? Are you guys going to do a big thing?" I actually got a message from the Full Dog. He actually wants me to do something for one of these games. Obviously nothing close to what we did in 2021. But here's the thing. So my response to that, I'll give a response for everyone, is that the reason why we had an advantage during that win game in 2021 was more so the place that we were playing at, which was, unfortunately, fortunately for us, unfortunately for the people behind the counter, Proline. And the advantage that we had there was the fact that Proline has to put their games out the night before, right? So the prop card was out there and sitting there. So we were getting, live weather reports and stuff like that. And that's when the Full Dog was blasting me. "Hey, get out of bed, get on the street early. This is going to be crazy. I've never seen weather reports like this." But we couldn't have done that to a DraftKings or to a BetMGM. The reason why it worked is because Proline cannot move their numbers. So once they put their numbers out, the numbers are static. They stay the same. They cannot move. That's why it worked. And I just, my knowledge of working inside of Proline, they don't like taking events off the board, especially on a prop card.
Of course
right?
not.
Yes. So that was the advantage. Yes, the weather played a huge factor. Did we expect to win every single fucking ticket? Swearing again. Every ticket that we played? Of course not. That was a beautiful surprise. We'll never forget it. It's going down in history. Amazing. But could we have done it online? Probably not, because everyone online is moving, right? You're not going to lay minus 160, right? Because they see everything coming in. Or I took a quick peek at some of the receiver prop numbers. I don't know. It was one of the credit shops that I play at. And Deontay Johnson and George Piskins, they're both in the 30s.
Yeah, well.
Right? Josh Allen, 204.5 passing yards. Mason Rudolph, 150. Now, if it turns into another one of those win games, 65-mile-an-hour gusts like they're calling for, yeah, okay, maybe you can hit the entire thing under. But again, it was more the sports book than it was the actual event. And to do it online, you're not anonymous. You're putting bets in. They're going to move it. They're limiting you. They can't limit us. We were betting anonymously. They couldn't limit us. We got down what we had to get down and more, and the rest is history.
At least you're calling it for what it's worth.
That's what I do. Obviously, I'm not going to lie about this shit. But no, because a lot of people are like, "Oh my God, they handicapped the shit out of that game." No, we didn't.
No,
the system that we used for the Buffalo game was the same system that we used for Game 1 in September to the Super Bowl in February. Same system every game. Same bets every game.
How many tickets? How many tickets did you cash before that game? Tell the people. It's not that easy.
No, it's not easy at all. Are you kidding me? And majority of them lost. You know what kind of balls we had to have to keep going on every games that we knew? You get a Kansas City, Green Bay or something like that. Aaron Rodgers and Mahomes are going to just shoot the lights out. But we had the system. It did not matter what the game was. The system was the same. You got to play the same tickets for the exact same game. We could not handicap because people are like, well, why didn't you just, scratch out the games? No, because a lot of times, a lot of those numbers were too high. Not as a result, not at fault of the Lottery Corporation, a fault of the industry itself. They just got overwhelmed with, oh my God, it's all going to be offense. And then all of a sudden the game ends 14-10.
Yeah.
Right? And so that's why everything was the same. It was no different for this game. But the only reason this game worked was because of the way the system was set up at Proline. So it's very difficult. Now, if I had to make some bets on these games, give me a same game parlay and give me all the unders. Match them and obviously correlate them, right?
Yeah.
Quarterback to the wide receivers. Don't touch the running backs because they'll likely just
don't touch the running backs.
All right. Quarterback,
Okay.
wide receiver, longest passes, longest field goals, first half under, second half under, all that shit. Put it all together. They're all correlated, right? But I would do that in every game. It's not just these weather games. I would do that in every single game. And I know that it's
believe me,
profitable.
people, believe me, listeners, he's not lying. He's
No.
Mr. Under for everything.
And it's I'm very disciplined. I'm not a handicapper. I'm not going to sit here and say there's more value on the under than there is the over in certain situations. No, I'm a system player. I am very disciplined. That is my advantage in sports betting. That's why I can do this shit and make some side money as a recreational bettor.
Yep.
It's discipline. Look at my middles. Look at that middles tab. Godfather, obviously I make mistakes every now and then. I get stuck on games, right? The line moves. It happens. It sucks. You try to avoid that at all costs. But it's the system. Do you ever see me randomly making straight bets? I'm asking you, Godfather. Never.
No,
never.
I don't.
Do you see me randomly making parlays? Never.
Never.
I am the system guy. I'm a robot and I'm a system guy. That's it. I play the system and I don't want to think about it.
Yeah, but you have
because if I use my own head, I always lose, and then I get pissed off at myself.
Yeah, I know.
If the middles lose, if the props lose, if whatever loses, it's not my fault. It's the system's fault.
Well, there you go.
Or the Godfather's fault. One or the other.
Yeah, well, that goes without saying. But
so,
it is a system, and you need that discipline, especially for this middling, because I try not to go into the middles tab more than once a night, because I'll see nine middles in a row
that
lose, and I lose my fucking mind, and I don't know. I go make myself a bocolo sandwich or something. Okay. So I try to stay out of there. Now it is a very nice surprise when I go in there occasionally, and there's 2 or 3 diamond blues. Then I think middles are fantastic. But it takes a special kind of discipline and maniac to get 10 wrong, but get the 11th right and be
up for the week. Yep. I made a grand.
Successful night.
Made a grand for the week.
What do you think about that, Mirabello? So I mean, yeah, it's tough.
And the only way you can play that, the only way you can play that system is if you stick to it and you're disciplined. But sometimes I go 20 in a row without winning, and it's terrible.
I know.
Starting to go. I feel the tilt, right? Saying, let me make this bet and hold off and just wait to see which way the game goes so I can make my middle bigger. You can't do that shit. But I can feel myself to do that shit. You know what I mean? But again,
if the juice you're losing is only under $100, maybe under 60, 70, when you start losing juices of like 150, 100, I don't know, man. Like, to me,
it's. I mean,
so I see 9 of those in a row. I can do math. 100 times 160. Carry the fun. That's $1,500, bro.
Yeah, but when they connect, they connect. What can I tell you? And
they connect,
listen, if I ran the numbers at the end of every week or every Monday like I do, the figures, if they were always red, we wouldn't be doing it anymore, right? But they're not red, so
no, they're not. So I guess
we keep getting lucky. We keep getting lucky.
Keep up with your discipline.
Give me a Super Bowl pick. Fuck, we're really Super Bowl pick. Go. Who's gonna win the Super Bowl?
I am gonna say San Fran.
Fuck. That's what I gotta say too.
Well,
damn it.
We can agree once a decade.
Okay, so how about this? Who are they gonna play? Who's winning the AFC? So we'll make a bet on it. It might be good for content. We can cheer it in. Like, I know taking the favorite to win the Super Bowl is not exactly the most, knowledgeable thing. Or
no, it's not about that.
It isn't. It isn't. What am I even saying? Yeah, no, it isn't. But who's going to win the AFC side? Because that one's I think it's a 3-dog race, but it could be more. Someone could come out of nowhere.
No, I think it's a 2-dog race. Baltimore or Buffalo. If Buffalo gets past this week, which they should.
So you're counting out KC and Patty Mahomes?
Yeah, I am.
Really?
They got to go to Buffalo.
Yeah.
Right? The
Maybe.
number two seeding was important for them. Now they got to go to Buffalo. It's not that easy.
But you just called, or I just called him, and you agreed with me. Josh Winston. Josh Winston is going to beat Patty Mahomes in the playoffs? Hasn't happened yet.
It hasn't happened yet, but I don't know. It's one of those two teams. I don't trust. You know who I don't trust. I'm not going to say my pet nickname for him, and don't you say it on this podcast either. What's his name in Baltimore? Baltimore's.
Oh, Lamar?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't trust him either.
I don't trust him.
I don't think he makes smart decisions in, like, again.
Well, that's just it.
Guy. I just, that's just the feel I have for it. But don't listen to me.
Yeah.
I would say
I'd Buffalo or KC, but I don't think they match up well.
I think it's a mistake. What I'm saying, I think it's now. Watch Miami go in and trounce them. I think it's a mistake to count out Patty Mahomes. I think he's that special, and it just, that's my opinion on it. Anyways, okay, enough with this opinion shit. We got to move on.
Yeah.
The Ontario Sportsbook of the Week. We're 40 minutes into this bad boy. We haven't even talked about a predatory sportsbook yet. What the? We're losing our touch, Godfather.
Well,
you signed up there.
You rile me up, and then
we changed it up this week a little bit, a little different. Next week we got a banger, by the way, folks. Vegas T-Bone has agreed to come on to this podcast, and he is fired up about it. And he just did a number on the Montana State Lottery. I cannot wait for that story because he was DMing me the whole time we were comparing.
Well, you saw my comment. You saw my comment. You two deserve each other. When I saw him throwing those stacks around like that, wow.
That's good for him. That's next week. Okay, NorthStar Bets, disgusting. They're a Kambi book. Shit, you guys see the name of this episode. NorthStar Bets is no good. Godfather, hit us with the stats.
Okay, so I deposited $3,000 on December 4th. December 4th. By January 5th.
1 month.
1 month. I was persona non grata there.
That's
$10 on a prop
through this journey.
$10 on a prop, $20 on a side. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Terrible.
Why? Okay. So balance,
all the sharps watching this, if there's any sharps, we say that we're talking to the noobs, but I'm sure there's a couple of sharps that watch this. They're going to say, well, it's a Kambi book. I'm surprised you even lasted that long. And there's some truth to that, but we were being very delicate, just like I'm being very delicate with Betway right now. I noticed something about a week ago that might be starting to slip a bit, but I've been super delicate, trying to give them as public plays as possible. So this is the reason why you lasted a month, because if you went in there swinging like we usually do, it would have been a much shorter tenure. So how many bets total?
39 bets. That's it.
Okay.
39 bets. And I'd say almost half of them, Pisk, were props. I like my props. I'm a recreational bettor.
It's a mistake. They hate props. So you can't bet props anywhere, man. Like, honestly, I think you got to reserve props to what I was doing last year at the BetMGM kiosks in Vegas. That's where you bet your props, because if you bet them in the account, they just shut them down. You can't get anything done. They're like, nope, you're gone.
And not even heavy. A W200? Come on. Anyway, I wouldn't even say half, maybe a dozen props, but it's enough. Like, they still didn't like it. And I mean, my balance at the time that I was brutally restricted like that was 4,600. So I made $1,600.
$1,600.
That's it.
Okay.
I mean, a winning percentage of just under 60. So I mean, these are not flex numbers.
Just under 60% winning is definitely a flex number.
No, it's not.
You can't. No, dude. No. 60%. You have your own island. If you're doing that at a serious amount, you own your own island.
But that's my point. I'm not doing nothing. Nothing is serious with me. Hello, look at me. I got a fucking tuxedo on a fucking somebody's podcast. Like, come on. I mean, It's just a very modest $1,600, but
Yeah. So what was the record in bets?
and
Just to share with everyone, so everyone can have an idea of what to
sure,
expect when you go into one of these Joker places.
22 wins, 15 losses, and 2 pushes.
22 and 15.
My last
Yeah.
bet was some crazy boxing match where I laid a minus 450. They let me play that no problem.
That's the thing too. When people tell you about their winning percentages, there's a lot that goes into that. It's very deceiving because if they're playing all minus 450s, then yeah, they should be hitting
Well, there you
in
go.
the 70s. That's just the math behind it. I'm not the math guy, but I'm sure you guys can figure that out. So yeah, like I hope no one takes that.
And you know what? Again, much like what was the other book that we like, DraftKings.
DraftKings has been the best one so far,
right?
Honestly.
Okay,
of the predatory ones, yes.
That's the sad part. It's actually a good book. I enjoyed playing there. The user interface is great for us old guys. I got to be able to find things. It's got to be set up properly, right?
Better than Unibet because they're all the same thing, right?
On par with Uni. Okay, on par. So, to me, that was a good book. I've got my 2 or 3 solid books. When I can't get the price I want over there, I go over here.
Right.
But no, $20. No, I had a back and forth with them. I played stupid.
Oh, really? And what did they say?
Oh, the first guy tells me, "Sir, I'm looking at your account, and I can tell you unequivocally there are no flags and no restrictions on your account whatsoever." I said, "Paisa, go get me somebody that knows what they're talking about," because I gave him. He goes, "Well, what markets were you trying to play?" I got fucking Joel Embiid over on rebounds. I'm the squarest guy in fucking Toronto, and you only gave me $10.
Okay, so that was stage 1. What did the second person?
Stage 1. The second guy comes on, and he tells me, "I think it was market specific." I said, "Well, at what?" Yeah. I said, "Okay, hold on. So I go, please don't tell me that I'm going to have to play this game." And he says, "What game, sir? What game, Mr. Mirabelli?" I said, "This game that I put in a nickel, it comes back rejected, but you don't tell me how much I can get. And then I put in 300 and it gets rejected. And then I put in 200 and then it gets rejected. And then I put in 100 because I'll keep going until $10 fucking dollars." You understand?
And he's not lying about that, folks. On our sheets, I saw him put in a $10 wager, 10 to win 9.
Yes, 10 to win 9 because you pissed me off.
Principle, Pisk. It's the principle.
Absolutely.
Nobody's giving
a shit. He assured me that it was the markets. But now, since I've tried to, they'll never admit it. And the worst part of it was because I'm trying to, I didn't want to talk to him or talk down to him. I know what he's doing. I've been there.
Yeah, no
right?
shit.
I know what he's doing, right? So I had to play like I'm Mr. Johnny Q public, oh my, really, this sort of stuff happens in fucking sports wagering, right? I had to play that stupid game, right? Because I didn't want to hit him over the head with a hammer, right?
But you know what, Godfather, and to everyone paying attention, it's a waste of time. Honestly, they're not going to change their decision. They will never reinstate your limits. You're better off just chalking it up. If you want to start a podcast and scream about it like we did, the option is there. I like talking about it a little bit. I know some people on social media have given me shit saying, "Pisky, you're bragging." I'm not bragging.
No,
a lot of people don't know that this exists. A lot of people that follow me don't know that this exists. And I want to shine light on this because maybe there is someone out there that says,
correct,
you know what? I won't waste my money on
for all our friends
gambling because my buddy Pisky here tells me that you can't even win because once you start winning, it becomes more difficult. Winning is just the beginning. right?
No.
So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to portray. I know everyone limits. I know everyone gets limited. Even sharp people don't get limited. You know what I mean? Even non-sharp people get limited. I get it. But I'm just trying to educate.
Yeah. Nobody's here trying to say that, you're doing this, you're doing that. You can't do this. You shouldn't limit this and that. But I can't understand. And this is not the first book where we have been very transparent with the record at the point where they made their decision. There's nothing spectacular going on. Okay. It's not
it's not. No, it's just, closing line value. They're going to look at that. Right?
Another book.
I know some of the shit that you play moves. So, they're going to pay attention to that. And then once they see it, they're like, no, we don't even want to deal with this. And then, there's a big argument out there. There's a debate on both sides. They're doing their job. And then I'm like, well, what is this industry? What is this industry? How can you be allowed to promote it if it's just a one-way street? That's my beef.
And the way they're promoting it is you can make money. Bullshit.
No, it's bullshit. Godfather, I got a video for us that I pulled from Twitter from the last name is going to trip me up a little bit here. Krakenberger? Anyway, you'll recognize him.
I know who you're talking about. The big dude with the hat. Go, he's good.
Here it comes.
I got to tell you something, too. What is wrong with these sports books that do this? You don't realize we're all going to beard back in. That's right. That's right. Let me be the first one to publicly say it. I may even tweet it out when this comes out on video. We're all going to beard back in. You're just not going to know it's us for a while.
Our buddy, you're our buddy who just got effectively banned is going to beard back in. He already told us we're not going to say the name of him, but he's bearding back in already.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and by the way, it's going to cost you a bonus when we beard back in. Oh, and you're not going to know who we are for a while. So we're going to be able to get some juicy bets at good limits for a while until you catch us. And then guess what? Just like Joe Pesci in Casino, we'll do it again. Because that's what we do.
Poor Bill unwittingly ran.
Yeah, I saw that.
There you go. You saw that.
I saw that. Yes, I did.
So, Mr. I'm going to butcher this again, Krakenberger is right. You know what I mean? Spanky infamously said at Bet Bash #2 on stage when he was given his, thank you for showing up speech, you're going to deal with me or you're going to deal with me. Right? Deal with me or you deal with me. Sorry, I butchered that a bit. And he's right. It's like, would a sports book like to deal with Pisky or the Godfather one-on-one? We know what this guy does. We know what he plays. Let's use his information accordingly. No, they're going to, okay, now they limit you to $10. They limit me at all these Kambi books as well. Well, now we come in and they don't know who we are. And we're doing different shit. And now they have a bigger problem on their hand because I'm not one to multi-account. I think that's a big no-no. A lot of sharps will disagree with me there, but that's from my experience. I would not do that one at a time. But yeah, I'm going back in. You think I'm not going to go back into DraftKings at some point? Or one of my buddies is, and I'm going to advise him on what to play? Damn right. Of course. Right? Too bad. So this guy who...
They brought it on themselves with these arbitrary decisions.
Absolutely. This, again, Krakenberger guy, I used to see him every Saturday morning at Ellis Island. In Vegas
yeah, really?
Yes.
Oh, so he's one of our kind of people at Ellis Island.
Well, I think he was doing the same thing. I would go every Saturday morning to put in the Full Dog and Uncle Leo's picks for the college football pick'em tournament or pick'em.
How is Uncle Leo? I haven't heard.
Good. Yeah, no, everything's going pretty good over there in Atlanta. But yeah, I would go every Saturday morning to Ellis Island. It was the closest place to me, and they had that amazing breakfast special. If anyone's going to Las Vegas, $8.95 steak and eggs. It's off the menu. You got to know about it at the Village Pump inside Ellis Island. But yes, this guy was always there, and the Full Dog told me a full time, you should go say hi, go introduce yourself. Same industry. I don't know. I was too shy, and I'm not going to bother this guy. I don't really have much to talk about, too. I'm just here putting in picks, and then I'd go sit in the Village Pump and do our live betting while eating breakfast, West Coast style, and yeah, it was awesome. But yeah, he was definitely at Ellis Island every single Saturday morning when I was there.
Just as a sidebar, Bisk, I saw something else. Take a guess. What does the COO of Bet365 make? Do you know?
Oh God, tons. Is that female?
Female.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't
Her
know the
salary
name.
was disclosed this week.
Oh,
you know
really?
what she made? You know what she made? You ready?
Yeah.
$221 million. That's her salary.
And yet they're kicking
And
people.
I gotta fucking play $20.
Bet365 is no better than. Okay, so what are we even doing here? Why are we doing this podcast?
Why
are we betting our W50s, W90s, scraping by, trying to make a dime here, a nickel there? Why? When we can make $221 million booking action. Tell me.
The important thing here is to all our nieces and nephews and friends kids.
Aim high.
Oh, absolutely. Stay in fucking school, aim high, and don't get involved in this fucking racket.
No,
don't do it.
It doesn't pay.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
That's one of the reasons why I've got one foot out of this industry, because I've had this.
Hurry up with the other foot.
I've had this conversation with our friend Giants Badgers. Is that, man, like, you can make good money in sports betting if you partner with the right people and you really know your stuff and you're disciplined. But as the numbers get bigger, the responsibilities get bigger. The problems get bigger. You got to deal with shadier people. You got to get bigger and bigger, and people are going to stiff you, and sportsbooks are going to kick you out faster. And you're trying to bet like fucking, I don't know, 50 grand on an overnight college basketball total. It gets to be a massive headache. And you know what? If someone's young and coming into the industry, good luck. You'll still have the energy and whatnot. Yeah, I've been doing this.
You need the energy. That's true.
I've been doing this since 2011 on a serious level. And that's why this season I took a step back. I like doing the recreational shit that you and I are doing, Godfather. And, we're having fun with it. It helps us with the content. And I like talking about my past experiences and educating people as best I can, because I've been there. All these goddamn pick sellers that seem to be finding their way onto my newsfeed on Twitter. Oh my God. Okay. I can tell in 10 seconds that they haven't been there, because the real problems aren't you're picking 65% in the NFL. Like, that's just not a thing. Yeah. The real problems is that when you can win, when you learn how to win, that's when the real problems start.
Yeah.
That's 100%. What sports betting is. And nobody,
there you go.
Honestly, there's not too many people that know about it. There really isn't. A few sharps understand what I'm talking about. And that's why that's why I can relate so much to Spanky's content. I love it. I can listen to this guy talk all day because I've been there. I know what he's talking about. I know
Listen to him.
Hashtag call customer service. I know what that means. Right? Having to go into underground poker rooms and deal with people that you should not be dealing with. I've been there. And let me tell you, it's been fun. It's been an adventure, but I want to do something else. And I think the ceiling is much higher in the other stuff that I'm trying to get into, which is this content creation shit.
So all right. Just to finish up with NorthStar.
Yes.
I like the book. I had no problems, but they've backed me into a corner where I got to cash out now.
Of course, you're not keeping dead money there. No,
like hello. Yeah. So whatever. I'll be the same. Let's go.
That's it. And that completes the round combined. We haven't each individually made the rounds of all the Kambi books here in Ontario, but that completes.
Is there another one out there?
No, we've done them all. You and I combined, but we are going to do them individually. So, anyways, that's what it is. Moving along, we're already at the hour mark. There are a few other things that I have on the list here. Maybe we take another 5 minutes. Are we okay? You guys good for sticking around for another 5 minutes? 8 minutes?
Think so. Don't give them a choice. You see, you're not going to be a good parent. When you start giving choices is where you go fucking off the rails. No choice. 5 more minutes. Go.
I'm sweating in this phone booth here at WeWork, by the way. It is like roasting hot in here. But I'm glad this camera thing is
City
worked
jacket and a hat
out. Look at this.
to the light.
Oh, shit. Boiling. Okay, I want to talk about quickly the Circa Survivor and Circa Million contests in Vegas. They wrapped up this past last week, week 18. The bingo machine, colossal failure. Okay, I'm going to admit it. Project. You can't win all the time. My goal there was to try and catch fire, catch lightning in a bottle, and then, how much would it have exploded had this thing actually been at the top or something like that? Like, holy shit, look at this sports bettor turned content creator picking games out of a bingo machine, and he's actually like close to the money. You would
have made.
That's what I was trying to do.
The Vegas mainstream news. Jeffrey Benson would have called out ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox. Your plan was good, but I told you that the bingo machine was gonna fucking suck. I told you that, and you made me do picks for 10 weeks to prove that even an idiot like me can beat the bingo machine.
It sucked, but it didn't suck enough. See, if it was pure sucking, there was $100,000 USD prize for the worst spot in the pool.
I would have brought the bingo machine to Father Ernie at St. David's Church in Maple and get it blessed or something. But
it would have been funny. You know what would have been funny?
It sucked, but didn't suck
with
enough.
One of the checks, whether it be the sucky check or the big boy check,
who cares?
Whatever.
Money.
Check, one big check, bingo machine, Godfather pouting, and me with a fucking shit-eating green ear to ear. 37, 49, and 4. That's what the bingo machine went. I figured that if it didn't catch fire in any direction, that maybe, according to the odds, it probably should have finished somewhere in the middle. It didn't. 37, 49, and 4. Garbage. 51 points. I do want to give out a shout out to our buddy Vegas Horsepool, Scott. He's part of Spanky's crew. He took care of all my picks. He was my proxy service. So how the proxy service works is that I met him at Bet Bash. We went together to sign up to the contest. I gave him the information that he needed, and then every single week I would send him. He has a Google file that you fill out. I would fill that out with my picks. I would send it to him. He was beyond great at this. Right, super reliable. There was even one week when I was completely out of it that I forgot to send my picks. I was traveling. I got a text from him, like the deadline to submit the picks was Friday at 10 p.m. Eastern. At 10:03, I got a text from him. Pisky, I didn't get your picks this week. Everything cool? And I had to jump into action, spit them out, give them to him. So yes, if anyone needs someone or wants to participate in either of these contests next season, send me a DM. I will put you in touch with Scott. He is a great guy for this. So thank you again to Scott for helping me out with that.
And to back you up there, if he's part of Spanky's crew, solid.
Yeah. No, solid, very solid dude. The top prize in the Circa Million, which is you got to pick 5 games a week for the entire season. Every single week, you got to pick 5 games. Godfather, listen to this. 62, 27, and 1. 69.4% in the NFL. That is ridiculous. Friend of the show, Brian DeFranco. You know Brian. He does those amazing TikToks.
He almost in the top 100. Congratulations. I was shooting the shit with
him. He sent me a couple of texts, just catching up and whatnot. This guy, first year in the Circa contest, and he doesn't do it he wasn't doing it randomly like me. He was actually using his head. 60.9%, so 61%. I'm like, dude, don't shrug your shoulders at that. Don't be disappointed.
That is really good.
Incredible. So good job, Brian. He fell out one away from the money apparently.
Yeah.
The money. Do I have that? I don't think. Yes, I do have that. 61.7%. You needed to pick in the Circa Millions to cash for the season, which is insane.
How much was the top prize?
$1 million.
$1 million. Nice.
$1 million. The Circa Survivor.
Break even.
The Circa Survivor, you had to go 20-0. they actually like I think it's Thanksgiving and Christmas. They add in an extra week just so they can, push people out so it can go more than 18 weeks. You know what I mean? Less winners, higher prizes. 20-0. Could you imagine going the entire this season without getting one wrong? That's crazy.
Well,
that's
if
crazy.
you had listened to me and not picked fucking Cincinnati that week,
I said Pittsburgh, and you said absolutely not. But we won't go back there. That one was $2.3 million each. I do think they had a split.
Yeah. Yes, they chopped 4 people, and just kudos to Circa. I don't know if you caught it, but on social media, they had the people down there. They're popping bottles of champagne. They're gonna treat you right at Circa. If you're a sports bettor, Circa, it's the place to be. Jeffrey Benson, Derek Stevens, it's the place to be.
Amazing. They just had the Breaking Bad guys there up at.
I saw that up at our favorite little bar there.
Amazing. How do you beat that? I got to start doing some more TikToks and stuff for Circa because they got some new social media managers too, and I have a feeling
butter them up. Come on,
eventually, yes, let's make some magic together, Circa. Come on,
I'm not a people
Get up
person.
There, north of the border.
Oh, listen, I got a fine print question for you, real quick. The loser prize that you were shooting for, last place.
Yep.
Do you have to make picks every week?
Yes. Yeah, if you miss a week, you're disqualified.
Disqualified. Okay,
so I wrote that down too. The last place was 29-60-1. So the bingo machine, 37-49-4. Last place, 29-60-1.
You could have
for 100 grand, 50 grand for second to last.
Buddy, that's money,
but
man.
Here's the thing, as I tell everyone, it's just as hard to pick losers as it is winners. Hello, it's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
If you can pick the loser in a game, you can pick the winner in the game. It's the other side.
Yep.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Well, congratulations to all the winners.
Yes, congratulations to all the winners. Would you join that, Godfather? I know you're not like...
If I had the scratch and...
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to do it next year, to be honest. I don't know if it's my thing. Like, I'm definitely not doing it with a bingo machine. That was so much work having to film that every single week. It would be hilarious if I was winning, but knowing the fact that it was going nowhere, you know how painful that was? From like a week 11 on, I'm like, oh my God, every Friday got to whip up. Oh, it was brutal. Yeah. So maybe if I find a different way to do it, or, you know, maybe if you want to, I don't think I can do it.
Maybe we'll split one. Yeah.
I don't think we could do it. We'd get into fights every week.
Yeah, but we get into fights anyway. What are you talking about?
So you pick 2, I pick 2, and then we do a consensus of 1. That'd be crazy.
Maybe, yeah, that'd be crazy. Maybe
we'll think about it.
We'll talk about it.
To let everyone know, it is $1,000 US to get into these things.
But
and then you got to pay a proxy too. And the proxy this year, I think it cost Scott was by far the cheapest one. I don't know if because I was a first timer, maybe I got a little bit of a discount there, but I think it was $200 for him to put on, which is
okay. So instead of $1,000 US, it's costing you $1,200.
Yeah.
Hello.
And you have to be in Vegas to put
Vegas
your No, the state of Nevada. The state of Nevada.
Okay.
Which I was there last season, so I did it for all of us. But this year, obviously, I wasn't, so I had to get a proxy. That's how it works. Okay. I think this is it. 2 podcasts I quickly want to throw out there that once you're finished.
So T-Bone next week?
T-Bone is next week.
Yeah.
I did
finally somebody interesting.
When I was coming, he's going to be great. He's going to be great. When I was coming back from Calgary after my little holiday tour there, I listened to 2 podcasts on the way home, and I want to share that with everyone. I did it in the live event, but I'm going to do it again. Avoid the Trap. Antonino DeRosa's on that one. David Miller, our buddy Micah. They're a syndicate out in Colorado, and they really know what they're talking about. And this episode, it's episode number 20. Avoid the Trap podcast. Yours truly was on there. I'm not sure. I think it was episode 6 or something like that. The name of the podcast episode is a peek behind the curtain into Ant's betting operation. So basically, Ant's office manager as well, Tommy, comes onto the podcast, and they talk about the struggles and difficulties that they have as a betting syndicate. And I can tell you, with 100% certainty, this is everything they talk about is 100% legit. It is real. So if you're into betting, which you probably are if you're watching this podcast, and you want to know what goes into running a syndicate, go watch that, or I guess it's a listen. It's an audio one.
Still listen.
The second one, Be Better Better, Spanky's podcast. Our buddy Tim Fraley was on that one, the most recent episode. Did you listen to that one, Godfather?
Yes.
You did, eh?
Good.
It is a very touching one. It actually got me choked up at several occasions. Tim talks about his journey, ups and downs of you in that episode. You understand the dangers of this industry, right? Of what could go wrong, because Tim made some mistakes, and he openly talks about those mistakes. And kudos to him, kudos to you, Tim, for sharing that. I know it wasn't easy. I could hear it, I could feel it, but. You know, you probably will educate people on things on mistakes he made and what not to do. Right. Yeah. So that's another great listen. Like I said, it's the Be Better Betters podcast. And there was one quote. I'm going to end this episode with this quote because it applies to me directly. It was from Tim's mouth. He says, now at the stage I'm at, when I'm betting these days, I don't consider myself a gambler anymore. I'm just trading numbers. That's exactly what I do in this industry. I do not handicap games. I don't give a shit what coaches do. I don't even watch games anymore. Solely trade numbers. That's what. And how many times have I told you, Godfather, I do not feel like a gambler?
Many times.
Because it's not betting with emotion. It's not betting with this. It's betting with systems. You know, I was screaming about it earlier. So I just wanted to leave you guys with that. I think that's it. I think we're at the end now.
That's a good
10
finish
minutes over. Yeah. Anything to add, Godfather? You look great, by the way. You know.
Thank you.
As always.
Just we'll end with "Leave Me the Fuck Alone" on Sunday at 1 p.m. to 4. Actually, not even after.
Good luck. I hope you make them sweat.
Well, I don't want to be embarrassed. I don't want them to be embarrassed. So give them a good game at least. That's the Steeler way. You fucking show up and you fight. If you don't show up and don't fight, then anyway. Have a great weekend, everyone. Enjoy the games.
We'll catch you guys next week with T-Bone, Vegas T-Bone.
Oh, I can't wait.
You cannot miss this episode. It's going to be a great one. Ciao.
Great. Ciao.